Hello and welcome back, Transformer TCG fans. This is Grillenheimer. Okay, we have going to go over some new base cards. Here we're getting very close to the end. We're going to go... I think we can go through this pretty quick. I'm not going to make a whole lot of hubbaloo about some of this stuff. It's about the third time I'm trying to record this, and let's make this short, shall we? Okay, the first up is Vector Sigma. Vector Sigma, I think this is an image from Cyberverse, if I'm not mistaken. It is white and green. No traits here. At the start of turn, do 1 damage to each character without the leader trait. So we have a couple of different cards that I've created, like Floating Throne, which is an armor that can make anybody a leader, or the Honorary Key card, which you can only put on, I believe it's 7 stars or less, in a weapon slot and make them a leader. Of course, so you got a couple of cards here that you can make characters leaders, so they won't be hurt by Vector Sigma, while at the same time the key to Vector Sigma cannot be played. So, and I have changed that up a bit. If you remember, I think it's like 1 to attack, bold 1, pierce 1. It is no longer a star card if it's on somebody that is not a leader, and it is utility. So again, that being able to have one of those 2 other cards, a weapon or armor, to create someone, add that leader trait so they don't get hurt, because you're going to have to do 2 damage to that character if they're wearing the key to Vector Sigma after an attack or after battle. I think it's after attack. So here, this is basically the base card Vector Sigma, which is not going to allow the key of Vector Sigma to be played. Boy, I'm saying that way too much. And it's definitely a non-attack damage type of card. So you can be ready with your deck, hopefully, to where you will take less damage than your opponent. Up next is Vilest Ride.
It was the vilest ride of my life.
And it is a black and green, not my best Dinobot that I've done. The black pip has the beast trait. The green pip has the car trait. So only the cars can get this on the flip. So I guess you could have, if like a futuristic interstate, and give everybody in bot mode the car trait. So and get this on the flip, with everybody being a car, possibly, to be able to play this for another turn. When a player had at least a car and a beast on their starting team, each melee character has bold 1, tough 1, and pierce 1 for battle. So this is really only going to help your melee characters. So luckily, though, these traits do not conflict with each other. And since we're talking casual gameplay here, for the casual gamer, you know, this stuff is not ATP friendly. This is not tournament ready. So for sure, you know, just giving you a heads up, which you probably already knew if you've been following this channel anyway. So, you know, make sure you can have car and beast characters, or at least one or two of those at your starting team, which can include banned beast characters from Wave 5. If somehow, for some reason, your opponent has a similar setup, then yeah, their melee characters are going to get the advantage of this as well. Moving on to the Vok Capsule, is a green pip only. Now the Vok Capsule is pretty strong. I have it as a uncommon right now, but there's a trigger for when it's played. There's a trigger when it is scrapped. So when this is played, do 1 damage to each character in bot mode. If they're not in bot mode, they're safe. Each character has oppress 1 bold for battle. So it doesn't matter what side the characters are on. Both sides of the table are going to have oppress 1 bold or negative 1 bold. Okay, so yeah, I'm using the word oppress here again, which feels right. It feels good. It feels good. Borrowing other people's terms and trying to make this a little more kind of universal, even though you in a casual gameplay setting, yeah, you put it all together, see what happens. When this is scrapped, each player may flip a character in their KO. So this might be something you want to use with maybe the Sentinels, the Sentinel team. I don't know. There's some of my boat characters. We got to reveal those guys. We got to get them out. Not many of them, but a few have a sync ability that when they're flipped into KO, then you're able to do something also with either your other characters or boat characters or whatever that are active on the table. So that is the VOC capsule. Up next is VR World. VR World is a hybrid. It's orange and blue. It looks Auburn. Go, War Eagle. This is a Decepticon green, so only the Decepticons can get this on the flip. But this is both a Decepticon card, faction card, and an Autobot faction card. There are two different ones. But yeah, when you flip this, you're able to call it, orange for the attack, blue for the defense. Just super nice, very versatile here. Each Autobot has Brave while untapped in bot mode, so it's a little specific. When an opponent has at least 2 upgrades in their KO, the chosen attacker has bold 2 until end of battle. This may be similar to Energize kind of terminology here that I'm not using because I don't quite, quote unquote, get energized. I think I do. I haven't really played around with those cards. But this is something similar. So if you're KOing their cards or they're KOing their own cards with VR World, you're able to get bold 2 off of that. As long as they have at least 2 upgrades in their KO. So that's, again, specific. So that may not help you much. Only good thing about it is the best part of this base card, why would I want this Grillenheimer, is the hybrid. This is the only one that I've made that I can think of that is orange and blue, to where you can, call it orange on the attack flip, call it blue on the defense flip. I mean, that right there is alone just good enough to have VR World, whether you're wanting to give your any Autobots Brave or not. So there's that. And it's only Decepticon because the Decepticons can get it on the flip. You can still be drawed like any other card. Up next is Waterboards, another white-green. A lot of white-greens here today. Each bot mode has the boat trait. We've had a few others that have sort of do this. I can't remember what Beach does right off. That's right. Beach gives boats bold 1 until end of turn. But let's see here. There is Underwater Atlantis, which gives Decepticons in bot mode the boat trait. So kind of going along those, something similar here. Each Autobot has bold 1 until end of turn, and because we have water, Scraplets can't be played by either player. So why would you want this card? Well, I've made a couple of Marina War upgrades, about 9 in total. The ancient Scraplet Scimitar or Scimitar can only go on boats. The Autobot Anchor is boats only. The Cybergun Colt M4, when you put it on a boat, is going to do damage to an enemy character. Let's see here. The Isolated Danger Buoy is an armor that can only also go on boats. See here, Isolated Danger Buoy is orange. The Cybergun Colt is blue pip. And then you also have a lot of the pips on these cards. Only boats are going to be able to get the attack or defense on the flip here. Now the tackle box can go on anybody, but only the boats are going to be able to get the orange for the attack. So having something, a couple of these cards from my Marina Wars upgrade set. Like I said, I only did like 9, but or 10. Yeah, that's odd. Yeah, it's about 10 really. So that opens up some of those if you would want to use them if you're trying to keep your characters to having the boat trait to be able to open some of that up, if you would want to, I don't know. Moving on, again, water scraplets can't be played by either player. The waterfall crash site. This is where the Axelon from Beast Wars fell in one of the first episodes. And then also in the episode where, Optimus Primal set it right back down. That was a funny episode. It's a blue-green, so it's a defensive on the flip. Each beast and boat has bold 1 until end of turn. Again, scraplets can't be played by either player. And there is since I'm considering changing how these, not really play, but integrating them into the game, after testing and getting some tests on these, that I kind of wonder, and I've kind of wanted to do this from the get-go also, is make it to where 2 base cards can be in play at the same time. So there might be a good reason to be able to, have to in here to where the Waterboards can turn all your characters in bot mode, add the boat trait, while the waterfall crash site is going to give those boat traits bold 1. Or even, something like, beach is going to give boats bold 1 and tanks tough 1. Scraplets can't be played on the beach either. Boo-hoo, so sorry. So, things to think about, trying to integrate these in a certain way to help accentuate certain traits while also stopping certain cards from being played. Like the Ambassador Shuttle prevents Crowbar. Goo you can't play Black Pit battle cards, you said battle cards? Well, that includes base cards, right? Yeah, unfortunately, yes, that is right. Goo cannot be scrapped by another base card with a Black Pip. Basically. The experimental research lab, you or your opponent are not going to be able to play blue pip actions. The Antechamber of Vector Sigma and the Allspark Fortress are both preventing the key of Vector Sigma being played, just like the base card Vector Sigma. The center of Cybertron Primus, the Matrix of Leadership, is also unable to be played while that's in play. Of course, when I mentioned Goo about Black Pit battle cards, casual gamers, Fusion Bore cannot be played while Goo is on the table. All sorts of interesting things here, as well as Conquered Cybertron. Your characters are not in bot mode, cannot repair. So you're good. Interesting stuff going on through all these cards. Really trying to prevent things from happening, or they can prevent you. Yes, very possibly. So let's keep going. I think you get the gist of this. Okay, so Web World Planet is the next one, and it's also a white and green, but the green is actually a Decepticon. I originally had this as a Quintesson to make it in a Quintesson card, but I nixed that idea. But I don't know. What I'm looking at is a Quintesson card, where the Quintesson trait in the green, and I've changed that to where it's only a Decepticon, and so the Decepticon trait, only Decepticons can get this on the flip. But at the same time, it's going to keep Decepticons from flipping from turn, as well as Rapid Conversion not being played by either player. So not only can you simply not flip your Decepticons for turn, whether it's you or your opponent, Rapid Conversion can't be played, but other cards can. This is not preventing Escape Route. This is not preventing any specific card or any specific colored pip card from being played. So if there's some other cards that, showing off or something like that, well, I think that's blank pip. Flipping your characters back and forth or whatnot, you can do that. But Web World Planet is going to make a few things a little bit sticky to where your Decepticons can't flip for turn. So there's that. I mean, you could probably have this in your deck even if you don't have Decepticons. You're just not be able to get it on the flip. And not to be messed up or with an action card that I called Web World. Both of these are rare cards, by the way, especially as strong as Web World Planet is. I don't know if you'd want to put Decepticons in your team with this base card or not, but Web World is a blank action card where that's rare. Choose a leader on your team. It gets +5 attack for battle until end of turn, then damage it down to 1 health. So, yeah, it's a little like Last Stand, but Last Stand is a black pip card. And then you're going to also have to KO your character afterwards. This is not going to do that. So, you know, if you're one of your leader characters, again, you can add the leader trait with honorary key card, floating throne, or anything else if anyone's playing around with traits like I am. Which I understand it's dangerous, but again, this is casual gameplay. This is not tournament play. This is not... so, you know, if I had 6 to 8 months to do nothing but play and completely have my family just leave me, then yeah, I might be able to see what works, what doesn't, and which of these is worth keeping or changing or whatnot. So, you know, Web World, that action card is not this base card, okay? So there's that. Let's keep moving on. But yeah, welcome to Junkion. We'll end on welcome to Junkion, but then I want to also go over 2 other base cards, which are not in this set. Welcome to Junkion. Guess what? White and green again. Each motorcycle has Pierce 1 for battle. If a player had a motorcycle on their starting team and flips a character to bot mode using a battle card, they may take a black pip upgrade from their scrap pile and put it in their hand. So you just had to have a motorcycle on your team. It could be simply Flame War. I do understand that they've, you know, the other guys that are collaborating and making a lot better cards than I am, have made some motorcycles and have made some Junkions to where when you flip them or whatever, they're actually in a motorcycle mode or a riding mode, and you can kind of quote unquote put another character in bot mode on them, so to speak. So, which is kind of interesting. I've never, tried that out or anything. So you just had to have a motorcycle on your starting team and flip a character to bot mode using a battle card. So you can't be for turn. It's got to be like a rapid conversion or something, then you can get a black pip upgrade. So there a little few hoops to go through here, but not bad. So there's only 3 left in that list, but let's move on. I want to go. I've been wanting to itch to get these out, and it's burger. And they're two restaurants from the IP. And believe it or not, these are not images from G1. They're not images from the 86 movie. Burger Bot is from Transformers Animated. Each character has tough 1 for battle. That's it. It's common. It's a base card that is double orange and one green. So anybody can get this on the flip, and all it's going to do is give everybody on the board, everybody, your opponent, if you can keep this in play to be able to get it on the defensive, a whole tough 1. So you're not waiting on that rolling action to be able to get some strategy in with a secret action or whatever, to that effect. So the Burger Bot, you're immediately going to give your opponents tough 1, unfortunately, first before you get the tough 1. But all this is kind of a risk, kind of Russian roulette with Transformer TCG cards. And the other one is the KO Drive-In, this was a hard image to try to get a snapshot of. This is from Transformers Prime with Jack and all them, and which is a double blue and a green pip, and each character has bold 1 for battle. And it is a common card. Can you have 3 of these in your deck each? Yeah, you can if you're playing with base cards. A base card is in play once introduced and remains in play until another base card is played. So I just keep them, straight up to where I can read them. But if you want to keep them tapped while they're in play, whatever, however you want to do it. However you want to do it. If you want to do it that way and put them in tapped. There is it the zone card? Somebody made a new card also that goes in. Maybe I am thinking of rolling actions. Or a plot action. One of the two. I can't remember which right offhand. I've never had the chance to play around or test those. I hate to admit that. But yeah, we got to go over a lot. So KO drive-in, double blue gives everybody bold. Burger Bot, double orange gives everybody tough 1. After 5 pages of base cards, I'm thinking, I need to do something like this. But I'm thinking, yeah, watch me do something like this, and then they're going to tell me it needs a star. And they're the ones making all these other cards on this other group over here, and they got all sorts of pip colors on there that don't have a star. And I'm thinking, I'm going to do this anyway. I think this would be, keep it simple, keep it, the KISS method here, and just a bold 1 base card, a tough 1 base card. Boom. Here you go. I think to really help fill some things out as well, which again, I'm going to be changing my space bridges, which is really just 1 space bridge card, to kind of see how we can reintegrate the base cards into a casual gameplay to where this makes maybe quote-unquote a little more sense and a bit more fun. And that's all I'm going for here. So what do y'all think? We went over a lot in a short amount of time. From Vector Sigma, Vilest Ride, Vok Capsule, as well as the Vok Capsule, which not to be confused with a secret action card that I made called the Vok, which at the start of your opponent's turn prevents your opponent from actually drawing. Crap! Wow, that's pretty powerful. Maybe too powerful. Maybe the Vok needs a star there. But as well as we looked at VR World, we went over Waterboards, the Waterfall Crash Site, Web World Planet, not to be mistaken for the action card Web World, or the action card Crazed Web Cage, which is also from the same episode. Crazed Web Cage, Black Pip, kind of like The Last Stand, but play this only if you had at least a 12-star Decepticon leader on your starting team. So upgrades, making your characters leaders is not going to help you here. They have to have been started as a leader at the start of your team. You may scrap a total of 2 counters from your upgrades. If you do, tap a 10-star or less enemy. So it's giving up counters off upgrades to be able to tap an enemy that's 10 stars or less. So I finally found that card that's, has the word web, and it's from this same episode. We looked at Welcome to Junkion, Burger Bot, and the KO Drive-In. Wow, a lot of stuff here. I have made a lot of stuff. I've made too much stuff. I saw a video that was put out there maybe 2 weeks ago from one of the cons, and the 2 guys were up there that were talking about the arc and the collaboration, and it was a really good. It was good information, and I felt like I was kind of talked about, but not really, not by name or anything, but because I don't know of any other people also making more cards for this game anymore. In what I do, I'll admit, it's not tournament friendly. It's not tournament ready. A lot of them are very untested. A lot of them are like playing Russian roulette. Are they going to trigger or not? Why would I want some of these in my deck? I mean, there's lots of questions you can ask, and I understand that. I've probably done quantity over quality, and I apologize about that. I've been trying to get better with that as we go along. And this is going to be coming to an end soon, guys. Just because I'm kind of getting tired of it. I'm enjoying it. It's been a nice little hobby, something to do on the side when I have the chance to do something. But trying to also do these videos at the same, trying to reveal them to y'all without going on the Facebook custom page board, where apparently I rule supreme and don't mean to. Now, anything I put out there is public. My parents are going to see it because they're on Facebook. Well, my mom's on Facebook. And so I'm just like, boy, dude, I don't want to put anything out there anymore. So at least we have this method here with YouTube. And just a big thank you for all y'all watching, whether you're here for the cards or the stop motion or the Transformers or a positive word on occasion. We'll see you next time. As always, throw scraplets at that like button, transform that like button, and as always, Autobots, let's transform and let's roll.